You felt it. Something is about to change. Not later, not someday. Now, everything you've been through has been preparing you for this moment. This is your turning point. There comes a moment in every life when everything begins to shift. Not always visibly, not always dramatically, but internally, something changes. Your mindset begins to evolve. Your perspective becomes clearer. Your priorities start to realign. And you feel it, this quiet realization that you cannot stay the same. That moment is your turning point. Now understand this. Turning points don't always come with announcements. They don't always come with perfect timing. Sometimes they come disguised as challenges, as discomfort, as situations that push you beyond what feels familiar. And in those moments, you have a choice. You can resist the change, or you can step into it. Because a turning point is not just something that happens to you, it's something you respond to. It's the moment you decide that your past will no longer control your future. It's the moment you stop repeating patterns that don't serve you. It's the moment you take responsibility for your life. Now let's talk about why many people miss their turning point, because they are waiting for perfect conditions. They want clarity, they want certainty, they want guarantees. But turning points don't come with guarantees, they come with opportunities. And opportunities require faith. They require action, they require courage, because stepping into something new always feels uncertain. But staying the same has a cost. And that cost is your potential. Now think about your life. How many times have you felt the need to change something but didn't? How many times did you delay? How many times did you say, I'll start later? That's how people miss their turning point. Not because they didn't have one, but because they didn't act on it. Now here's the truth. Your turning point is not about perfection. It's about decision. A decision to think differently. A decision to act differently, a decision to become someone new, because change starts with a decision, and that decision creates momentum. Now let's talk about the role of pain, because often turning points are triggered by pain. A situation that forces you to reflect, a moment that makes you realize something has to change. And while pain is uncomfortable, it is also powerful, because it pushes you to grow, it pushes you to move, it pushes you to take action. Without pain, many people would stay the same. So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this pushing me to become? Because every difficult moment carries a lesson. And every lesson brings you closer to your turning point. Now let's talk about identity, because lasting change requires a shift in how you see yourself. If you continue to see yourself the same way, you will continue to act the same way. And if you act the same way, your results will not change. So your turning point begins with identity. Who are you becoming? Not who you were, not who you've been, but who you are choosing to become, because your future is not built on your past. It's built on your present decisions. Now here's something important. You don't need to change everything at once. You need to start one decision, one action, one step, because progress creates momentum, and momentum creates transformation. Now let's talk about discipline. Because a turning point is not just a moment, it's a process. And that process requires consistency. You can feel motivated today, but if you don't act tomorrow, nothing changes. Discipline is what sustains your turning point. It's what turns a decision into a lifestyle. Now understand this, your environment matters, the people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, the habits you maintain. These influence your thinking, and your thinking influences your actions. So if you want a new outcome, you need a new environment, one that supports your growth. Now let's talk about fear, because fear often shows up at your turning point. It tells you you're not ready. It tells you it might not work. It tells you to stay where you are. But fear is not a signal to stop. It's a signal that you're stepping into something new. And growth always feels uncomfortable. Now imagine your life 1 year from now. If you stay the same, what changes? If you take action, what changes? That's the power of a turning point. It creates a gap between two futures. And your decision determines which one becomes reality. Now here's the most important truth. Your turning point is not in the future. It's now. It's in this moment. It's in this decision. Because change doesn't start tomorrow. It starts when you decide. So stop waiting. Stop delaying. Stop doubting. Because everything you need to begin is already within you. And everything you've been through has been preparing you for this moment. This is your turning point. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are ready to change